In this video, I'm going to be going over the half kneeling hip hike and drop sequence. That's going to teach us to find internal rotation and groin work, and then external rotation and glute work, where we oscillate in and out of the position to work on both hip strength and mobility at the same time. Let me guide you through it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of a mat here to protect my knee against the nice rubber floor. And what I want to do is I want to adopt a 90-90 position like so. Okay? From here, I want to bring my nose over my toes, or like I'm hinging my abdomen towards my thigh without going here. So a lot of times when people do that, they go back and they lose the weight on the front of their foot. So basically, I'm just bringing myself forward, and I want to think that my head's not here, but it's here, and I want you to see that my left hip is higher. So I'm like pushing into this right knee to cause this left hip to go up, as opposed to just going here. So once I'm in this position, you see how I align myself. It looks like I'm about to start that race, and I'm going to bring my elbow forward and this elbow back. In this position, if I push my knee in while keeping this hip high and connect the elbow to the inside of this knee, not over here, but the inside of it, I feel the inside of the groin light up like crazy. I'm continuously trying to hike that hip. I have this forward intention, so just from the side angle, just so you see, I'm here leaning forward, not with my knee over my ankle, but almost in front of the ankle, and that elbow goes back. Now, commonly what happens is when people rotate, their knee goes along for the ride. So it's not just a rotation where my torso stays tall. It's a torso rotation and then a side bend, head over foot, back here. Now, switching, this elbow goes forward, this elbow goes back, and this hip is trying to get higher. All right? And I'm dropping this pelvis down, and I should feel this outer glute kick on if I maintain the weight on the outside edge of the foot. So I turn my chest, but I don't let the knee fly out. So let me describe that in a bit more detail. Essentially, if I'm here and I turn my chest open, I want you to observe that my hip comes out of its socket. When I go here, the hip comes into the socket. It's here and here. Now, when I'm here, I want the dialed into the inside edge. When I'm here, I want the dialed into the outside edge. The problem is when people do this, they tend to like fall back, and so they don't feel their glutes, they just feel like their lower back here. So essentially, when I'm in this position, I'm dialing into both a side bend and then a rotation with the knee traveling forward over the ankle, keeping the heel heavy, the outside edge heavy, and pushing the knee and the elbow together. That's the key to feeling the glute. So I'm here, this elbow's back, this hip is high, okay? Then this hip, the right hip, is low, this one's high. And so essentially, we could just practice this rock and here, but then that we pair it with the rotation, because naturally, the pelvis is always paired with what the rib cage is doing. When I lift up my chest, my low back should extend, but not fall backwards. When I flex, notice how everything pairs together. The pelvis comes together. So in this case, when I'm here, I'm connected to this side being shortened, and then here. Sorry, I should say this side shortening, this side's lengthening, and then here. Feel the outside glute. Look how I turn to the sky. If you need to put something, your hand on something for balance, that's totally okay. And just oscillating back and forward. Now, in future videos, essentially the same thing is happening. If I go here, this hip is going to get high. I dial into the groin, and then this hip gets lower, this gets higher. I feel my glute. I feel my glute lengthening here. I feel my glute shortening here. We'll dive into that in a future video, but I want you to be able to understand that the concepts on the knees translate to things in standing. Give that a shot. That's how you work your body from the ground up.